I am in the car, but we are about to do an amazing IG Live conversation with an amazing activist and journalist and youth advocator in Atlanta. Hey!
Yay! Hi. How
What
are
is going
you?
on? I am well. It's good to be here with a fellow Georgian, a queen. I gotta give you your flowers. Thank you for all
Oh,
of the work you do, and I'm just so
likewise.
honored to be here.
Likewise, I'm in my car, the infamous car studio.
Yes, I mean you're working, you're grinding. We gotta get it where we can, right?
We have to.
Yeah. Well, we are so excited to host this conversation together. To everybody tuning in, we welcome you to this conversation to encourage people to vote, encourage people to finish what we started here in Georgia. Of course, we have our dear sister, Logan, here, who has been doing amazing work on the front lines, getting the vote out. And I'm going to be joining you all as well to just get y'all to show up again and make sure we're all energized. So, Logan, we'd love to hear from you. You've been doing work, you've been putting it in. You use your platform to encourage people, to inspire people. Why is this Senate runoff election so important and critical to you?
Well, first I'll start off by saying that obviously as a fellow Georgian, it just like I feel this heightened sense of responsibility and like pride over it being our home state that has flipped blue, that is like, the state that this has all come down to. It just it feels special. And so with that being where I'm from, having the Senate flipped, obviously this past 4 years has been completely insane, and a lot of our rights are governed by the Senate. And so being able to get Kelly Loeffler out and get this amazing black, incredible Senate in Reverend Warnock. I mean, I went to Ebenezer Baptist Church growing up, so he was my
Wow.
pastor every day, leaving church, shaking his hand. Like, he's just a wonderful person. He comes from very humble beginnings. And I just want to see him win for all of us.
I love that. I had no idea. That is such a powerful story to know that you grew up in his church and he practices what he preaches. I mean, he's out here, he is going to communities all across Georgia, and it's really important to know that our leaders are invested in our communities. And to your point, growing up with humble beginnings, right? He talks about how he took out all these grants and he had all these opportunities to go to college. Many of our brothers and sisters can't afford college, and it is time to elect people who will fight for fair education and opportunities like that. And we know, so we have a lot of folks tuning in right now. We want to know if you already cast your vote in Georgia. If you did that, let us see some blue hearts, because we want to see some blue hearts. All right, so drop it right now. If you already voted in the Georgia Senate runoff election, let's see if we can get some blue going, because we need to recognize that, y'all, this past week, more than 1 million people came out to vote in
That's
Georgia, y'all.
amazing. That is amazing.
Amazing.
My mom went today. My mom literally just went to vote today. She said it took her 10 minutes. She said there were a lot of people there, but it went by so fast, which is so good to hear, because we know voter suppression is real. And Georgia is one of the places, and black and brown communities are one of the places that usually have the longer lines. So I was
Yep.
really happy to hear, that she went on a day that was not, a long line.
I love to hear that. And my mom and I voted on the first day of early elections. So, I mean, we got to get out. We have to make sure that we're telling our brothers and sisters in our communities to get out there and vote early, too. You can wait until January 5th, but we really, really want to encourage everybody. Early voting is underway. You can get out there. You can show up. So we know that there's a lot of young people out there, right? And let's go ahead and make one thing clear, all right? Georgia reportedly had the highest youth contribution in this past general election. All right. And that
That's
is
amazing.
major, major. And so we know y'all can do it again. We know Georgia youth can get out again. So what is your message to any young people who might be tuning in right now? We know you're constantly giving us rays of light and hope, but what can you tell, especially our young people that are listening?
That these votes, these elections are, I know there's a lot of hype and publicity around them, and they can feel very commercialized. But the truth is, they have like you said about college, being able to go to college for free. It has a huge impact on your reproductive rights, on your voting rights. Like who you step up to the plate to choose right now will affect you for a very long time. You know, these people hold their Senate seats for a while and they just keep coming back. So I would just say, think about your future, and know that young people are always at the center and at the forefront of every political activist movement. Change always happens in colleges with young people.
Yep.
Don't sit on the sidelines. What about you? Like this is the work you do. You're so engaging with the youth. Like what would you say?
Yeah, I echo everything you just said, 100%. And some of the work we're doing here, I'm involved with various organizations doing work across Atlanta to target our communities. And I'm also involved with a group called Ethiopians and Eritreans for Georgia. So we have been canvassing and mobilizing, and I kid you not, we had 3 college students yesterday come out. This is their first week of break, their first weekend of break. And the first thing that they're doing is coming out to canvass and to volunteer. So if y'all are tuning in, I want to salute you all and all of the volunteers, whether you're a college student, whether you're younger, older. My 8-year-old nephew has been out there with us, knocking on doors, dropping off material. And we have
That's
material.
a big deal.
It's a huge deal. I mean, if we got 8-year-olds out here, y'all, during this pandemic, seriously, wearing a mask, we all wear our masks, you know. But there's so much at stake, you know, navigating this pandemic. And, you know, we talk about criminal justice reform and all sorts of things, you know, working to end police brutality and systemic racism. We talk about clean air, clean environments for our future generations. These are just some of the things. But you volunteering, you getting active, to anyone listening, will make a difference. One post, one text, one call, one drop off, all of that. And I know you're out here doing the work. What drives you to keep pushing? Because you're getting pulled in so many different directions. What's sort of your motivation to continue, you know, pushing?
Aren't we all? We're all always getting pulled in so many directions. But I will
Yeah.
say, for me, motivation is very simply the people around me. Like you said, your 8-year-old nephew getting out there. I saw my brother just put the hands up emojis because he's here. You know, I donated to Reverend Warnock's campaign today because I saw that my brother donated. So the people who we keep around us, and like having our families be just as engaged as us, just one person doing something, it enables someone else to have that thought, that idea, that spark, that excitement to also do it. So I would say, like you said, it's that the one little seashell, picking up the one seashell off the beach, or picking up the one piece of trash off the beach. Like, I don't know if you know the story of the little girl who, like, she picked up the one thing and someone was like, how do you, no, it's the starfish. You threw the starfish back in the water, and then everyone starts doing it. So it's that one person. That's what I'm really inspired by.
So the starfish, they pick it back up and throw it back into the water to help that.
Yeah. There's this story. This little girl. She's on the beach. She throws a starfish back in the water. She sees another one, throws it back in the water. Someone comes up to her and they go, "What are you doing? There's no way you can throw all these starfish back in the water." And she's like, "Yeah, but that one went back in. This one went back in." And sure enough, all of the people around her start doing it too. And she was the youngest person. That's what makes me inspired by your nephew. Like one person, you know, starting young. So I
gotta tell him, Malik, if you're listening, you heard her. She's so proud of you. And that, I love that starfish. I have actually never heard that analogy. So thank you for sharing that story, because it's true. Every single starfish, every single act is going to make a difference, y'all. And we want to encourage anybody tuning in right now, just left a comment that says youth to 52005. Logan, if you could
I'll pin that. Yeah, for you guys.
She's gonna go ahead and pin that for everybody. But if you want to get involved in some of this important work that the Warnock Campaign is doing, some of the volunteer activities, some of just all of the different types of activities that the students are doing through this group, we encourage you to text youth to 52005. And they will send you ways of how you can get involved, because again, every act is going to make a difference in this election. Phone banking, text banking, canvassing, holding friends accountable, texting your friends, everything you do. Look, if you put in whatever you're doing, holding a virtual happy hour to get the vote out. And to Logan's point, if you can donate, let me tell you, $5 even goes a long way. You can donate $5, $10. If 1,000 people donate $10, that's $10,000 right there. So think about that. If 1,000 people donated $10. So just do anything you can. Every single thing is going to make a difference. And we know this is super close, right? what were you feeling? Because we even were watching this whole election unfold, all the results. It was just,
Right.
it was a lot. And so what's sort of your energy right now around this moment? Like, because this is like unreal that we're here. You know, nobody was looking at Georgia, and now all
Right.
eyes are on Georgia.
I'm really, like I said in the beginning, I feel a bit of pride, and I also feel like it just is a reminder of how we all have to pay attention. You know, there are a lot of people who are not in Georgia, who are not voting in this election, but it is still going to govern their lives. Like, what happens with this election will affect them. And I think that it just is a good reminder to pay attention, and to be supportive of grassroots organizers, to be supportive of Black and brown, you know, like BIPOC, just being supportive of the people who need a chance, who need to be heard. Like, I love that you obviously have your own amazing platform, but like, you and I have never met. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to chat and get to know each other. I just love, my energy is just, I love the feeling of so many people coming together. I feel really inspired, and I feel really proud that Georgia is going to bring this home. I already know. I'm speaking that. So.
Let's go! Y'all hear that? Y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here. I mean, we could talk about this all day, so we're going to come to a close here, everybody. But just so many gems you shared. And everybody, we want to remind you, text youth to 52005. Please text youth to 52005 to get involved, to find out ways that you can make a difference in this unbelievable historic moment. Because we are going to get the job done. To our sister's point here, we're going to get this done. And one thing we want to do before we hear just your final closing message tonight, and I'll share mine as well. Everybody, right now, we want to see some claps, because there have been so many people working so hard in this state. Organizers, volunteers, community leaders, left and right, up and down. So can we get some claps for every single person? Clap it up to them. Give them their roses. You could drop some roses, all of that. So go ahead and clap it up. Oh, I am so sorry. That's one thing about me. I am very clumsy. I'm clumsy. But Logan, we'd love to hear just the closing message from you today, to anybody listening.
I would say I would echo what you said about voting early. You know, like I shared with everyone today. My mom voted today, and it was 10 minutes. Like, we don't want anyone being deterred from using their voice, and so voting early and making sure that you know, are able to cast your vote, especially if you are working from home and like can't leave the house at a certain time, or you know, I think that supporting the people who are going to vote on actual election day as well. Like, there's pizza to the polls. Like, you know, how can you volunteer on election day to make when the lines are long, helping people to stay in line, and donating. Like you said, $10 makes a huge difference. And Kelly Loeffler she's already invested $20 million of her own fortune. Like we said, Reverend Warnock comes from humble beginnings, but he is not alone, and he has all of us supporting him. So let's show her that all that fortune that she just invested, like, good job for you. Hope you don't need it later. We are going to support this amazing young Black Reverend who deserves deserves to have us fighting with him, because he's fighting for us.
Oh, we're receiving all of this. You're giving me chills right now listening to this. We're going to do all that and more, y'all. Let's close out with a bang. Please, please, please vote early if you can. We cannot stress that enough. If you're voting by absentee mail, please drop that ballot off as soon as possible. Please use a Dropbox location as well. Let's try to avoid using the mail, especially with everything being so busy. Again, early voting runs until December 31st. You can also vote in person on January 5th. Bring a friend. Bring a family member, and remember to text a few friends after you're done. Get involved, plug in with an organization, donate if you can. Every single step will make a difference. And we know that we are going to get the job done in getting Reverend Raphael Warnock to the U.S. Senate. So we're going to check in with you all. We'll continue to push everybody. Remember to text youth to 52005. And to Logan, thank you. Thank you for being a light in our community. Seriously.
Thank
just want to give you,
you.
no, for sure. I mean, this is an honor, and just we thank you for leading by example and practicing what you preach. So continue going, sister. Continue glowing. Continue shining.
Likewise.
Thank
Everyone
you.
go follow Hannah Joy. I'm about to go do it right now. You
So
guys,
sweet.
she's going to keep you so updated with everything that's going on in Georgia. And thank you so much for being here and sharing my platform with me so
Thank
everyone
you.
can learn a lot more about how to be engaged.
You
All
rock.
the love.
Love to everybody.
Blue hearts, blue
Bye.
hearts.